Well, hello everyone. As I was reading our scripture passage for today, I was reminded of a game from when I was a kid. In this game, you would play with another person, and the goal was to guess which character they had while they tried to guess which character you had. And to do that, you would ask lots of questions like, does your person have a hat? Or, does your person have blonde hair? Or maybe, does your person have facial hair? You'd use different categories to group characters, and by process of elimination, you'd eventually be able to figure out which person the other player had by excluding the ones that didn't match. And in our scripture passage for today, something similar is happening. People are being put into categories and being excluded or eliminated, but unfortunately, it isn't a part of an old kids game. Instead, it's happening in a church, and specifically, it's happening during communion, or the Lord's Supper, as it's often called. And rather than recognizing people by whether or not they're wearing a hat or the color shirt that they're wearing, the people in that church were putting people into categories based on how much money they had, how smart they were, how important and successful they were. And when it came time for the Lord's Supper, the rich and important people would have their own huge meal, and they would exclude everyone else who didn't match them and leave them with next to nothing. And in our scripture passage for today, the Apostle Paul wants everyone to know that this isn't okay. Even though people exclude others all the time in the world, the church is supposed to be different. And they need to stop doing this, and especially during communion. And Paul does this by reminding them about what communion is all about by retelling the story of the first communion that Jesus had with his disciples. Because the Lord's Supper is all about what Jesus has done for us, our need for him and being united together. In communion, we realize that it's not about us, but what Jesus has done for us on the cross. No matter how rich or poor we are, no matter how important or ordinary people think we are, we all need Jesus' sacrifice. We're all in the same category, and that category is that we need Jesus to save us. And in the church, all the other categories don't make sense anymore. And that's why none of us can be excluded, because we are all a part of Christ's body, the church. And united, we all look forward to the day that Christ comes again. And I hope that helps you understand our scripture passage just a little bit better. Goodbye, everyone.